it is September the 1st when I'm filming this, which means that of course the Inktober prompt list has come out. So we're going to have a look at how we can perhaps be a little bit more successful this year with Inktober. I have a tendency to use two different prompt lists, so I will use Inktober, so the official one, and I will also use Nicholas Towers one. So first of all, let's talk about equipment. I will show you what I use. So I've never used these before. I'm really excited to try them. I have traditionally used other ink pens. I've used various things, which I probably should have got out before I started this video because I'm a dumbass. Back. Alrighty, so I last time used these Arteza pads. I will get the one that I use. So I ordered these last time. So these are fantastic. They are acid free, they're heavyweight, so they're 300 GSM, so they're really, really great. They are designed for watercolor and I loved this. I used them for Inktober in 2020. I did quite a few of the Inktober ones, but I haven't finished it. Life just got too busy going back to work. I actually used Nicholas Towers' prompt list for 2020, so this was Obscutober. So he finds really obscure words, which I really liked because it meant that I also learnt some words as well. So you can see a few examples. Here I used red and black ink for this one. That was Labyrinth. Ophis, which is Greek for serpent. Caligo. So there's quite a few very interesting words. You can see I started running out of time to do them, so I just did the outlines. And you know, I do plan on going back to it, and that's the beauty of Inktober. You don't have to feel like you have to finish it. Obviously it would be nice to finish it, but I do think it's just cool to, you know, start a few pieces, get the ideas going. And it really pushed me out of my sort of boundaries because I'm normally very rigid. So I don't like not having a plan for something. So, you know, it did really help to do that. As you can see, I quite like that one. Why did I not finish that? That's quite cool. See, now something like this I could use as a sticker for Halloween, for example. So this is the thing, you know, Inktober is really great for getting new ideas. And then you can see I got stuck at Came, so that was day 16. That's not bad. It's better than I did last year, but this year I'm going to finish it for Inktober 2021. I got these. What I'll do is I'll put a link in the description box below, but these are fantastic. So they come in a set of 3, excuse my dog. If you want them, they are the Arteza Premium Watercolor Sketchbooks. You want to make sure you have the heavy weight ones, because what this will mean is if you saturate the paper with ink, or if you're like me and you add a bit of water to your ink to get a more translucent finish, then it's not going to warp the paper. Part of the reason why I absolutely love these is because they have perforated edges, so if I wanted to take these out and create prints, I could do. So it's fantastic for that. There are 64 pages. What that means is it counts 1, 2. So for me, I see it as there are 32 pages. So I'll be using 31 of them obviously for Inktober, and then I'll use probably the front for the prompts. Let's have a look at what other supplies I'm going to be using. So as I said already, I've ordered or bought these Pigma Micron pens. I've never used them before, really excited to use them. I think they're what a lot of people do use. But what I used last year, I actually do have an absolutely stunning calligraphy quill, which my boyfriend bought me. It's absolutely gorgeous, so that was fantastic. It was really fun to play with as well. Got a lot of different sort of techniques out of that, so I'll probably use that again this year. And then I also used rubber, because I like to draw my artwork out first. And then I used these Derwent graphic pens, which I do like. I will say I do like them, but now here's the but. I've done a few watercolor drawings with them, so I have outlined the artwork in the pen and then foolishly used the watercolor afterwards. When I did that, they do bleed, so if you add water to them, they will bleed, which I didn't like. So just be mindful when you are doing your artwork. They may bleed if you use these. I'm not sure about the pigment microns. It says it will not bleed through the paper, but it doesn't say whether or not that's if you're then adding watercolor on top. So those are the pens I used. I also really love this pencil. It's the Pentel 120 A3DX 0.3 millimeters. It's a mechanical pencil. It's just really comfy to hold. It makes really nice light coloured lines, so it's great for erasing afterwards as well. So that's the first sort of bit. That's the materials that I'm going to use for Inktober. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a time lapse. I'm going to show you the Inktober prompt list and how I will lay out my pages ready for drawing out the prompts. Future Charlotte coming in here because I'm an idiot, and I don't just use pens when I'm doing Inktober. I also use Winsor & Newton ink. This is some black ink. I absolutely love this stuff. It's fantastic. I use it with calligraphy pens and also with paintbrushes, and also the Winsor & Newton white ink as well. This one has dried up though, so I need to get some more of that, but in the meantime I use gouache as well, so I can use gouache. I also will use white gel pens to do any highlights because I love a bit of highlights. So my favourite white gel pens are of course the standard Uniball Signo, in fact, Broad in white. It's pigment ink, so I really like that. It's really good for highlights. And I also use the Jelly Roll ink, the Sakura Jelly Roll. Not as good. I actually find that the Uniball pigment ones, they work a little bit better than the Jelly Roll, but that's my personal opinion. I know some people absolutely love them. The other thing that I will also use is a trusty Posca paint pen because they are pretty awesome for highlights. And then because I'm obsessed with gold, which if you already follow me on Instagram and TikTok, you probably know this already, but I will use the Aqua Bronze from Schmincke in Pale Gold. It basically looks like a powder and you add water to it and then it acts almost like an ink. I have got some acrylic ink in gold, but I actually didn't really like that much, and I prefer to use this for any gold details, or the Coloro watercolours, which is what I use pretty regularly for absolutely everything. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly head in there because I completely forgot. I don't know why I forgot to mention those in the material thing, but I did. So I'm sorry, but they're here now. So let's crack on with the video. Oh, and side note, I'll also use paintbrushes for the black ink. So I love a water brush. It's pretty good. It's pretty knackered, this one. It's quite old. Probably should get a new one at some point, but it does a job. It's what I use fairly commonly. I tend to use that all the time. And then for small detail work, I've got this gorgeous tiny, you can just about see it. It's very, very fine. It's not the finest one I have. This is a Royal and Langnickel 5/0, whatever that means, I don't really know. So those are the two paintbrushes that I'll be using throughout Inktober. So you can see that I have started out by creating the front page for my Inktober sketchbook. This one I have done in pencil to start out with. I'll ink it later on. And I've chosen my prompt lists that I'm going to do. So I've used a mixture of the official Inktober prompt and also Nicholas Tower's Obscutober prompts because he's just released those. So you can see I'm going to do Crystal, a Raven, Spirit, for example, from the Inktober prompt list. And then I'm going to do Boreal, Agonal, etc. from the Nicholas Tower prompt list. And those ones I've marked with a little N so I know which is which. I'm now just going to transfer them over in pencil onto the front page just so I have a permanent record of the prompt list that I've created from those two on my front in my sketchbook, and it just makes it a little bit easier for me to be able to do the whole lot. As you can see here, I've written them all out in pencil. I'll go back over them in ink later on, and we're going to start off by numbering all of the pages in the sketchbook 1 to 31. The reason why I do this is because in the past times I've actually done Inktober and then skipped a number or a day, and it has really irritated me. So we're going to start off by doing that. So we're going to just pop the numbers down in the bottom corner in pencil. So we're going to go back to the beginning, and I'm then going to basically write the prompt names on each individual page as well. And I know this might seem a little bit tedious, a little bit long-winded to some people, but I'm just really keen to finish this year properly and try not to mess it up like I did last year. I actually ended up having to rip some pages out of the sketchbook because I just completely mess the whole thing up. So I don't want this to happen this year, so I figured if I'm really prepared, then I've got a better chance of finishing the whole thing, and it won't be as stressful either. I like having the prompts on each individual page as well as at the front, because it just helps me. I don't have to keep flicking back to the front. I can just open the page and the prompt's right there, and I can just get cracking and sketch out my ideas and then ink them. You can see I made a mistake there. So that is the sketchbook kind of prepped, ready for sketching. What I will probably do is, I'm not going to stick with one sort of theme with this year's Inktober. I'm actually going to go for a few different things, I think. It does, however, mean it might be a little bit harder, I think, to actually come up with different designs, but I'm probably going to do some kind of skull with a crystal for the first day, so for crystal, because you know how much I like skulls, so I'm just going to write a note here to say skull with crystal. Raven, I already have an idea for that one. So raven, it's going to be a raven bird sitting down, and then I want to have a gold halo around it as well. Now we've got Spirit is the next one. Probably going to be very sad and draw Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron. It'll be the old-fashioned version because I don't like the new one. So these little notes that I'm writing on here just help to give me an idea of the kind of thing that I want to do. So for 24 extinct, I'm going to find an extinct animal. So I might do something like a woolly mammoth, or I might actually scratch that. I'm going to do a dinosaur skull with gold on it. So that's a few days that I've taken care of. I don't actually have to think about, you know, once it comes to the day, I'm not going to have to think about actually doing them. For Fuzzy, I had an idea of doing perhaps a bacteria, sort of a fluffy looking bacteria, or germ, or maybe even a fuzzy caterpillar. Demersal, which is number 13, is to do with things at the bottom of the ocean. Usually it was referenced to a fish, but what I think I might do is some kind of fish skeleton. And I might utilize negative space with this and have the surrounding area black with ink, and then the fish skeleton will be white, so I'll leave the paper as the skeleton, and then I might add some gold surrounding it or around the outside or something like that. That's quite cool. I quite like that. So again, I'm going to write a note there, so negative space. Number 18, moon. I mean, it should be no surprise to you guys if you look at my work. I love the moon. It's probably going to be something similar to my last Inktober, where we had selenophile, which means the lover of the moon. So it will probably be something similar, but with a bit of a twist on it. So it's probably going to be the moon held up by two hands, something like that. So these aren't even sketches really. These are just lines just to give me an idea of the kind of thing that I would like to do. So that should give you guys an idea of how to prep for Inktober. So I've got a few ideas of what I want to do for some of the days, which will help save me time, and I will sketch these out, but I won't do that in this session here. So I hope that really helps for you, and if it's inspired you to take part in Inktober this year, then I'm really, really pleased with that. It is quite a good art challenge to take part in, I think, because it is one of those things where everyone's taking part, everyone gets involved. You find lots of artists coming up with very different ideas for the same prompts, which I think is really, really interesting. So definitely, if you want to get involved, please do. You can find the Inktober prompt list on the Inktober Instagram page. and it's such a wonderful thing to get involved with. Starts on October the 1st, but of course you can draw everything out sooner because the prompt list is already out. If you want to post it sooner, I'm sure that's fine. Okay, so I really hope that was helpful for you guys, and I would absolutely love it if you would put down in the comments what you're planning on using for Inktober. Do you have anything special? Have you got any favourite sketchbooks that you're going to use, favourite pens? Are you going to stick with ink? You know, what kind of ink are you going to use? Are you going to use biro, or you could use alcohol inks? You could use pretty much anything really nowadays. So, and I think as well, a lot of people do digital work with Inktober too. So please let me know in the comments below what you're going to do. I would absolutely love to know. And let me know what you thought about this video. Are you going to use any of these tips and tricks to help make Inktober that little bit more achievable this year for you? If you haven't already, please do press that subscribe button, press the thumbs up button. I would absolutely love to have you coming along with me on this journey to being a successful artist. I would absolutely love to have this community of like-minded people here on YouTube. Anyway, that's it from me for now, but I'll see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed. Bye!